Welcome to Retired to Ride. Today's little trip starts in Matheron and ends near Tabernas to the restaurant Route 66. First to arrive is H, then Mike and Gaynor, then Elaine, closely followed by Guy and Karen. So we're just waiting for Chris. So it's time to do the meet and greet and introductions all round, as not everybody knows everybody else. And then we're on our way. Taking you through our little town of Matheron as we head down towards the mountain range and the 332 road. There's always a sense of positive anticipation at the start of a ride. Brenda the honey badger, as usual, doing a super job as the executive camera specialist operator. We have some new riders with us today and also people who haven't met each other. So, like-minded people on bikes, I'm sure it's going to go very well. Looks like a beautiful sunny day ahead. I think the temperature's now around about 17 degrees. Heading out now on the RM332, a nice section of road. As you can see, November in the south of Spain is still pretty good for riding. As long as you check the weather forecast, that is. This is the first opportunity we've had to film with this bike. This Honda NT700V Deauville is new to us and we've only had it for a couple of weeks. Previously we owned the 650 Honda Deauville. It was a very good condition one. Regret actually selling it. And we ran that alongside our Honda ST1100 Pan-European. So I think it's obvious we like Hondas because we think they're Honda-ful. starting to pass the acres of polytunnels that litter this part of Spain. And we're already into the curves and the bends of this section of the RM332. The mountain section opens up before us as we get into the flow of the ride, and I know all the other riders are enjoying this. It looks as if we're chasing our own shadow as the Deauville skips around the bends. I'd say it's a little bit more skittish than the Pan-European on the bends, but then it is much lighter and has a shorter wheelbase. New people, new bike, a new destination. I'm really looking forward to today. It's a nice stretch of road this, and not too many boy racers on it today. I'm very aware as I ride that I have 6 other bikes behind me, so I'm keeping it as smooth and fluid as possible. Constantly checking in the mirrors and keeping it light on the brakes. I don't want this hard braking scenario that upsets the flow of the ride for everybody else. As you can see, this is a very enjoyable stretch of road to ride. coming up to our first coffee stop of the day at Bar San Felipe. I think we'll be having tostadas too. A couple of minutes on the RM11 motorway and then we're there. There are quite a few other bikers here already. Time to chill, chat, drink coffee and eat tostadas. H and Mike with their sunny, happy faces waving to the camera. Chris and Guy talking mutual Transalp ownership.
It's a brand new bike out the box. Did you buy it from when they first came out?
You can see here Dr. Evil presiding over the table.
Oh, right, I'll have to take a trip over then tomorrow. Or Tuesday.
What a wonderful start to the day. And then we all watch as the other bikers leave, mostly on adventure bikes. Chris has struck up conversation with another biker about Honda Africa Twins. Isn't it wonderful, the biking community that just interact with each other? And now we're ready to get back onto the road.
So that was a good stop. Now we're on our way towards Tabernas. Maybe taking the coast road. See you later.
I would describe this bit of road that connects us to the coast road as super scenic. A long tail of bikes stretched out behind us as we ride along in the sunshine. It's round about 20 degrees now. It's not long before we hit the coast road, the AL7107. The warm winter sun shining off the Mediterranean as we cruise along this spectacular coast road. The more hours that Brenda and I ride on this Honda 700 Deauville, the more we like it. For me, the handlebars, the mirrors and the screen, which is in the up position, are just right. Brenda does one of those turnaround shots and we can see a very happy Karen riding along behind us. It's a big, wide, flowing, grey ribbon of tarmac, this coast road. It's always a pleasure to ride it. We get to the end of the coast road and then we're all of a sudden trickling through Vera, heading towards the 340A. Is that a gaggle of motorbikes or maybe it's a thicket? A little bit more town work on the bikes around Vera, and then we're through and out again on the open road, the 340A. We stay on this road all the way to our venue location, somewhere near Tabernas. We haven't been there before, this Route 66 restaurant bar. We've seen some good reviews, so we're hopeful that it's going to be a good place to go. And we know this road has got some scenic elements to it. November in southern Spain. I'd say it's picture perfect for riding motorbikes. There are a vast amount of fruit orchards and olive trees along this route. Brenda and I are very comfortable on this Honda 700 Deauville. We've just come back the other month from a 4-month tour around bits of Europe on the Pan-European 1100 Honda. And the last month or so of that, I got some pretty severe neck pain. So I went to see my doctor when I got back. And the next case scenario is some sort of cortisone injection in my neck, which will be with a hypodemic nurdle. Anyway, the 700 Deauville is much more comfortable for me than the 1100 Pan. I remember the last time I went to a hospital in England and I parked in the car park, and one of those officious looking parking attendants came up to me and said, "Badge holders only." And I said, "Well, I have got a badge holder, that's why I'm here." Anyway, back to the ride. Isn't it fantastic, this road? A really good camera shot coming up of all 6 bikes in a row behind us coming round that bend down the hill. Excellent work, Honey Badger. At one time, this road, the N340A, was the main arterial connection east and west and east in this region. But since then, a motorway has been built, and most of the traffic goes on the motorway. And that's why, on a weekend, this road is almost devoid of traffic. Isn't that wonderful? We are currently heading towards the town of Sorbas. The road network in Spain is quite impressive, and I think you can see why. A lot of bikers come here to ride. Slowing down now as we come into the town of Sorbas. A fair proportion of this town is built on top of the cliffs on the right hand side as we go through. It's very picturesque, and we don't know a lot more about Sorbas. Maybe we need to come back here another time and explore it further. The one unusual fact I do know about Sorbas is they have a community kiln which is used by the locals to fire their pottery and ceramics. How unusual is that? And just so that you know, between here and Bar 66 restaurant, I get 3 warnings for speed cameras on my sat-nav. But we are being very good bikers, and we're not speeding. Temperatures now round about 23 degrees, just about perfect. Apparently, Bar Restaurant Route 66 has live music on the weekends, so we're looking forward to that too. Especially for me and Brenda if it's rock and blues. A few kilometres later, and we arrive at Bar Route 66 restaurant. First impressions, it looks rather good.
I think you might get on that badge. A Ducati Enduro. Quite high at the front end.
That's very high.
A bit like, well, I was going to say,
the seat, isn't it?
I was going to say a bit like the African twin. There's one behind you because they tend to climb up.
You enjoy that?
Very nice, yeah.
I do, but my ass not.
No, my seat's not as comfortable as it was.
I never know if you're filming or taking a photograph, so you have to be careful what to say.
So the venue, absolutely wonderful, sitting there in the sunshine. The band were really good, but unfortunately we were distinctly underwhelmed by the food. I'm not a food critic, a press food critic, but it wasn't good. There's definitely a caption for this picture, if only I could think of it. Notice the gunslinger waiter behind us with his 6-shooter. So would we come back to the Route 66 restaurant near Tabernas? Well, I think if we were passing, we'd stop in for a cold one. As you can see, we're now riding back through Sorbas in the late afternoon sun. A big thank you to Brenda the Honey Badger for her camera work today. And also a thank you to Mike and Gaynor, our guests for the day. We really hope you enjoyed riding with us. And maybe when you come back to Spain, you'll come out with us again. From our perspective, it's been a really good day, out and about with like-minded people on motorbikes in the sunshine in November. What more could you want? With the late afternoon sun low in the sky, we drift back towards Matheron. And I think we'll leave you with some pictures of some of the bikes that were out with us today. We do hope that you've enjoyed sharing the day with us, and maybe you'll come back and watch another video soon.